In this video, I talk about how to avoid cliches. Cliches. Every writer has to deal with them. Avoiding cliches is an important step in becoming a long-term professional writer, but it's also an important step in increasing your book sales. When people think about cliches, they tend to think about them in cliched terms, pun fully intended. They think about a high school wannabe writer writing, stories that everyone else has done before. But if you'll remember my previous video on writing to market and on tropes, everything has been done before. It's all about execution. Here are 4 proven ways to eliminate cliches from your writing career. You know the first 2, and the last 2 are obvious but usually missed. But when you understand them, they'll make you think differently. The first way, and the most familiar to people watching this video, is to eliminate them at the sentence level. For example, if you have a cliche that says, "John knew that slaying the dragon would be a piece of cake," well, you have a cliche. Piece of cake is an expression that once was original and once was innovative, but it has been used so much that it doesn't have any meaning anymore. It's tired, boring writing. It would be better to say something like, "John knew slaying the dragon would be easy," than to use a cliche in a sentence. When I started writing in high school and college, I had this problem big time. Fortunately, I had a professor who noticed it, and it kind of irked him. So one day he took the liberty of sitting down with one of my stories, and he marked every single instance of a cliche in it. The entire paper was filled with red marks. It was pretty painful, but I learned overnight how to be original at the sentence level and write sentences that were evocative, original, and also move the story forward. That was probably one of the best things anyone has ever done for me. If no one has ever done this for you, try it sometime. But don't fall into the trap of focusing on pretty sentences. I fell into this trap myself, and it took me a long time to get out of it. And I know a lot of writers out there, particularly in the literary field, who can't ever get past it. Remember, it's not all about sentences, it's about story. Which brings me to the second way of eliminating cliches, at the story level. Let's say you have a story about a space pirate. That's a pretty familiar trope to any space opera fan, right? Let's say you have a space pirate that's planet hopping, looking for treasure. He gathers a crew of society fringe types, lots of bad boy and bad girl types who have sarcastic personalities. Unless you have a story that's particularly interesting or characters that win over readers' hearts, this might be considered a little cliche. Because let's face it, how many space operas are exactly like this? Now, I'm not saying not to write a story about a space pirate looking for treasure, but I'm simply saying that be aware of your readers' expectations and the stories that they've read coming to you. To solve this problem, watch my video on tropes. It'll help you avoid being cliche at the story level. But basically, write the story you want, but keep learning craft and read a lot of books. In any given year, I read anywhere from 150 to 200 books. That includes novels and nonfiction. So that's helped me try to be original at the story level. The third way to eliminate cliches, and this is the one that people miss, is at the marketing level. But do you know why authors miss it? It's because you should do the opposite of what you expect. For the space opera example we used earlier, when you're marketing, you would want to make sure that your book cover and description fit in with the other space pirate titles. Believe it or not, the cliche thing to do is actually to try to be original with your cover and your book description by trying to make them works of art. It sounds counterintuitive, I know, but you have to embrace the tropes that readers will resonate with and market those accordingly. Make it feel familiar. In our example, that would be space pirates and space travel. And you'd want to make sure that your sample, your book description, and your book cover have those in spades. Pardon the cliche. When you know tropes and cliches at the marketing level, you can answer an important question. What makes this book different from every other space pirate novel out there? You can use this in your marketing to help your book stand out. The fourth and final way to eliminate cliches is at the career level. What kind of writer do you want to be? I write stories from the perspective of unique characters. Teddy bears, androids, dragons, vegetables. Later this year I've got a book coming out with a necromancer. Every book I write for the foreseeable future will have a character like that. I cross genre, but I also have a unique storytelling ability that follows me across genre. My books are for the adventurous readers who want to see the world in a different way through the lens of familiar characters that you just don't see stories about all the time. From a nonfiction perspective, the reason I have not done all the other things that other authors are doing out there right now is because it would be cliche for my career, quite frankly. That's why I made the decision to focus on video. Author Level Up is quite literally an extension of my brain. It's what's going through my head at any given moment on a weekly basis. So as I grow, so do the videos, and I know that this provides a tremendous value to you guys. When I become a bestseller and I reach the level of success that I'm looking for, I can point to this YouTube channel as a time-lapse view of me walking that path to success. And it'll be original because, one, it's video, and few people are doing video right now in the author space. 2, it's focused on intermediate authors and not beginners, and I hope that'll be a service to the community. And 3, the videos, I hope, are entertaining and immensely helpful and easy to watch. I hope I'm an easy guy to look at. This kind of stuff becomes a cornerstone, and it becomes a calling card that makes it easier for me to get lucrative speaking events, exposure to Hollywood, and other crazy opportunities with my books that you just don't see every day. This is foundational too, and is it a little selfish? Yes, but I'm running a business here, and this is only the beginning. But all of this comes from my passion for wanting to help authors, because I've had a lot of great mentors and people who helped me along the path, and doing this is the only way I know how to repay them. So does this help you think about cliches differently? Strive to avoid them at the sentence, story, marketing, and career levels, and you'll soon have a career that people are talking about. That's it for this video. If this is your first time watching, I'd love to have you subscribe. And if this video helped you in some way, do me a favor and click the like button. Thanks for watching.